Good evening. Welcome to the Not Relevant Podcast. Thomas.
Hey. I'm excited to be here, and I'm tired and sore and all of the above, but I'm excited for tonight's show. I really am.
I am as well. It's I look forward to this every week as the highlight of my week. It's like I can just take a deep breath and relax and just have fun the whole time. And I'm not have to worry about, I might have to clip out something, what if they say something bad in court, what's shown on it. I'm not worried about, the burner phone, I sort of put that on the back burner, so to speak.
Right.
And just have fun, watch chat and hang out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I talk about it every week, but as my schedule changed, I'm not in chat anymore, but I have you on either my TV or my phone or kind of where I'm going when I can to put it up. And today, watching the court today, holy cow, the new trial, so awesome. So, not awesome because of everything that happened, but wow, the twists and the turns and
all the bingos all at once.
And crazy. So that's going to be a fun one to watch for sure and be entertaining nonetheless. But Thursday nights are so much fun. They're different for me for sure. Just different pace and my daily life is outside of what you do every day, but it still switches up the game. And especially now more than ever, it gives me the chance to reconnect with the RA family and chat and on TV, which I love. And I miss y'all so much, be able to chat all day a lot. But
it sucks when you have real work to do, huh?
Oh,
adulting is hard. Yes, bingo. Adulting is hard. Oh man. Welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you in chat. Hope you're having a fabulous week. This is if you're here for the first time, we're sorry. Yep. So our apologies up front. No, we like to just take it a little bit slower. It's a lot less structured than our typical show. And as if you even think that's structured, but what we do is we do talk about some of the fun things that are happening in and around the world outside the world of true crime. And I don't know how to start to just slide into the first story, but we can slither our way in somehow.
That was good. I can give you a segue.
Oh, let's hear it.
Have you seen a YouTube short of a couple guys? I believe they're at a zoo, and I don't remember the reptile that he's like looking at, and he's like putting his finger. He's like, "You're so cute, Venimu. What's your name?" And it says like caution, venomous. And he's like, "Oh, Venimus, you're so cute, Venimus. I love you. You're Venimus." Like, it cracks me up all the time. It's so good. It's been around for years, and every time it comes back up, I watch it like 4 more times.
What a beautiful name for a snake. Venomous. Venimus.
Venimus. Oh, hey, Venimus. Is he French? Venimus. It's like a huge lizard or something. It's pretty good.
Well, do you want to lead in with the first story then? With the Venimus?
Yeah, I'll run into here in Melbourne, Australia. Credit goes to Josh, great mod of the channel. He shot this one over, and I said, "Yep." Even though probably the one creature on Earth I fear the most, besides evil humans, would be the snake. A man described feeling shudders as more than 100 venomous, not venomous, red-bellied black snakes were removed from a pile of mulch in his backyard. More than 100. If I have one, I'm running for the hills.
Sell the house.
Burn the house. Yeah. David Stein called reptile recollection and sitting last week after watching around 6 snakes slither into the mulch. He then learned an internet search that pregnant, known as gravid, red-bellied black pile on top of each other before they give birth. Snake catcher Dylan Cooper arrived the afternoon. Stein helped. The homeowner helped rake away the mulch as Cooper bagged 102 pregnant and newborn snakes. So he was on the verge of having 202 real quick.
While he is catching them, while he's raking them up and catching them, 2 of the 29 snakes in the bag, or 2 of the adults gave birth to 29 more snakes in the bag.
No. I would, yes.
Australia has some of the wildest animals and creatures. Just they have the biggest spiders in the world. They've got I think more venomous snakes than any other continent. Uh, I don't know why. I don't know why you say. I would go. I would go. I mean, the roos, they're beautiful. But
The buffest kangaroos ever.
oh man, those guys are ripped.
I mean, if we did a poll, I think this would be the first time it would be 100-0. Everyone's going, nope, 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 no.
I'm curious though, if you look at the population map at Australia and see where people are, it's a little speck here, a speck there, speck. I mean, they're big cities, but look, considering the size of the country, Australia's a massive country. Most of the continent has almost nobody on it. Like,
especially if you compare it to the United States.
It's the bush.
Yeah, it's like you said, big cities here, and then this whole mass is nope.
And the cities are mostly on the coast. Make a U shape around it. That's pretty much covers most of them on the outside. I'm thinking all the snakes are in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So the people live on the outside, away from the spiders, away from the snakes, and you don't want to see these guys. Oh, totally.
It's been a while for me, and this is off topic of the podcast, but I do want to highlight this comment. It's from Jan Krushin. I think it deserves a quick shout. It says, Ari, you were incredible today, listening to the court in one ear and speaking to us at the same time. You go above beyond for us. Thank you. I never get to watch live. Excited to be here now. Jan, sorry, this is the one live you get to catch, but awesome comment.
Thank you.
That need to be highlighted.
That is, I don't know where I got the ability to do that, but I can just regurgitate. Something goes in my ear and I can say it 2 seconds later. I think I do know how. When I was a kid, my neighbors had a reel-to-reel player that had some weird device on it that you could record yourself and then hear yourself back as you're recording. So it was a slightly delayed playback, and we would try to sing like Mary Had a Little Lamb into it. And because you come in off timing and it's completely, I was the best one at it. I was like, I'm going to beat this, everyone else, because it's used as like a prank, like, haha, you can't even say Mary Had a Little Lamb. Because when you record it back and you're like all over the place. I think that's where I got it. So thanks neighbors. Later, that neighbor would turn me into the police and say that I built a bomb. There's a long story there. We'll save that for another day.
There's always a story there. Always a story there. That's incredible. All the comments or feedback I ever get from my wife, and it's, you never listen. And I go, what?
Oh, see, now listening is a different skill, which is not the same as what I do. I can hear and say, but the listening part is where it goes in and stays, and it doesn't do that. It just goes in and out.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to follow. My retention is probably the lowest when I'm doing that.
I'm real bad at it. Are you good with names?
No. That's why I have yours on the screen for me, as you can see, and my own.
It's the same. I've gone headfirst into pickleball. Chat, have fun with that all you want, depending on where you're going. But so I started 7 days ago doing pickleball, and I've played almost every day since. And I meet this group. My father-in-law introduced me to the sport and his friends, and in their little group, they play every day at like 8 in. And so I get there, and he's like, hey, this is my son-in-law, Thomas. And when I meet y'all, and he's like, hey, I'm Bobby. Hey, I'm Randy. Hey, I'm Steve. Hey, I'm like, okay, awesome. And they're like, all right, who wants to be on what team? Thomas, whose team do you want to be on? I'm like, white hat, black hat, blue shirt. 30 seconds ago, you all just told me there's 8 of you guys. I don't know.
Where are your name tags? Where are your name tags? We need team jerseys just so I can remember who everyone is.
Totally. And I feel so bad, right? Because there's 8 of them remembering one name, and there's one of me remembering 8. So they're all like, hey, Thomas, hey, Tom, hey, Tom. And I'm like, hey, yeah, you. Hey, I'm so bad.
Yeah, bud. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. I mean, I feel so bad, but I've played, like I said, almost every day last week. That I now I know their names. It's been great, and it's fun too. So repetition
helps. And if there's one thing that pickleball has in spades, it's repetition.
Got a lot of iron.
Oops, I played the wrong sound effect.
That was not it. That was not it.
one sound effect to play, and I hit the wrong one. It's too late. The time's gone. I'm not even sure if I have the pickleball sound effect anymore.
Oh, with it being the worst sound in the world.
Yeah, it's the guy. I wake up, I hear it, and you hear the pickleball sound in the background. You go outside, I hear it. All day, I hear it.
I will say I am all in on the sport now. I owe any one of you in chat that has played pickleball for a while, I owe you an apology, because I kind of jokingly teased pickleballers. And now that I'm playing it, I have eaten a giant slice of humble pie, and I absolutely love playing the sport. And it's been great for me. It got me to sign up for a half marathon. So
when
I have 8 days or 9 days to get ready for a half marathon.
Okay, so Chad, if we can take just a minute here, if you had 9 days to prepare for a half marathon, what would you do? What's the
Everyone's going to say
just friendly advice for Thomas. Obviously, he's doing it. He's committed. I've tried to talk him out of it. He's not backing out. He's got a good reason. He's supporting a friend there. What would you tell Thomas as far as I don't know, some sort of pain reliever, some sort of hallucinogen? What would best help?
This is the one. This is it. This should be the number one comment. Withdraw, which was in my head. Everyone says should say withdraw immediately. Quit. Yeah, see, quit. Half marathon myself to the couch.
There's no quit in Thomas.
Do it.
Yeah.
Cancel registration. I would quit. Figure out who's pushing
I have
my
to
wheelchair.
Admit, there you go. You just need a good runner to push you in the chair. Cheapest segue on Marketplace.
The chat is all over it. Don't.
I'm looking at hiring a runner with a camera. Or a walker, depends. Thomas, I'm not sure if fake my dad.
Brandy, I like that one a lot. Can you
if you run it, wow, yeah. I'm impressed, actually. I am. I think it's incredibly ambitious, but
well, don't be impressed, because all I did was sign up. So that's nothing.
But you're gonna show up too. I mean,
yeah, I'm going. So the backstory is our neighbors, they're great friends of ours. Y'all have heard us talk about our ski trips annually and whatnot. We go with them, and the neighbor's wife, she does 1 or 2 every year. And so a few months ago, she mentioned this one. This is down in DFW, which is 2 hours away from us. So they said they go down, they get a hotel room the night before, eat a nice meal, and then they do the run in the morning. And so I was like, well, I'll do it with you. Well, I canceled like the first 5 practice runs months ago that I said I'd go with. And then, leave that comment so I can answer that. That's perfect. And so I kind of blew it off and just went like, you know what? My wife and I'll just go down there with y'all, and we'll get our own hotel room, and we'll join for dinner, and I'll go to the checkpoints with my wife and her husband, and I'll just cheer you on, or maybe I'll run it. I really don't know. Well, it was like 4 days ago. We have a group chat with our families, and she's like, oh, I haven't trained as much as I normally do, and this is going to be bad. And I was like, you know what? She doesn't have anyone that does it with her. So I said, I'll just do it. I'll run it. When I was younger, I ran track and cross country and all. So of course I'm feeling like I can still do it.
Look, it's like riding a bike. You get back on, you're right back into it.
Yeah. It's like riding a bike without 2 legs. When you get back on it, that's what I learned.
You might want to ride a bike. I think.
Yeah. So being pickleballing for the last 8 days or so, and that message came through, and I said, what the heck, I'll do it. So I signed up, said, we're going. So we got the hotel. I got my registration. I ran 4 miles today in just under 40 minutes, which I'm very happy with, because that's the furthest I've run, Lois, in like 4 years. I've run like 15 miles before, but that's probably been 2 decades. So that doesn't count and equal today, but
11 more.
And I'm there. I mean, what's 11 more?
You're over a third of the way there, nearly. So
yeah. So Wendy's right. 4 miles in under 40 minutes. Hate to tell you, but that's not going to be great. I'm going to be in trouble. here's where I'm trying to be realistic. I have 2 goals here. I just want to finish and not get hurt. And I don't care how long it takes me to, well, I have 3 goals. I don't care how long it takes me to do it. As long as I finish, don't get hurt, and don't get last place. That's it. So, and I have 9 days to keep training. So I can shave 8 seconds off.
Forever. It's forever. Tell your boss you can't work. Oh wait, you're good there. So
Yeah.
you've got all day. Just focus. It's mostly a mental game, right? I mean, it's mind over matter.
Well, yes and no. I will say today, I had a lot of negative thoughts in my first mile and a half of I need to withdraw from this marathon or half marathon. I'm in my practice run. I went out to go. I told myself just go run 2 to 4. Who cares? About my first mile, I was like, just go home and relax and don't hurt yourself. Like this is done. And so I think at a mile and a half, I finally said, dude, so much of this is mental. I mean, yes, physical for sure. But if I'm going to be running out here and being negative the whole time, I'm not going to run a half mile. I'm not going to make it. So quit. So I told myself every negative thought, just throw it out of your head. Just go run, keep going. And so I did. I ran the 4 miles. What I was really happy with, my lungs felt great. I didn't have any side cramps, any aches, nothing. The wind was fine. I will mention it was 29 degrees, by the way, when I did this. so that
That's
made
brisk.
it, yeah.
Brisk.
So the lungs felt good, but there was a little burn going on there. But no, it's what got me the most. My hips got super tight, and then my left knee, and that's from my hockey being a goalie years that just keep me up. So my goal is to run 4 miles every other day until 3-ish days prior, and I'm going to go run 7 and then take like 2 days off before the marathon and then go see what happens. And hey, if I have to quit, if I can't make it and there comes a checkpoint, I throw in the towel, I'll gladly hop on the golf cart, go to the finish line and cheer on my neighbor.
It's like, there's no shame in the Uber. Honestly, it's impressive that you've signed up and are committed and are going to give it a go, let alone all the training you're going through. That's awesome.
I've got to do it.
I'd be clapping for you for some sports though. They do have risk of injury. There's a danger there. And running isn't necessarily high on that list, but I would also put kayaking as not high on the list of danger. Where
my dad's an avid kayaker, and I
mean, the worst thing that can happen is basically the water can get you, right? And that's something that everyone who should be, who does any sort of water sport knows that the earth is always the water is always trying to kill you. Okay? It's not your friend. It's not going to help you in a time of need. It doesn't care if you're tired. It's relentless that way.
Yeah.
But generally, kayaking is a peaceful sport that you can just go out and do it to relax. I know I've done it, spent a lot of time out on the lake with a sunset, fishing rod in hand, and loved it. It's definitely not running a marathon. But I've never feared for my life on a kayak like the guy in the next story did. Chilean Patagonia kayaker. And this is not on a lake, obviously. He's out in the salt water. He's out on the ocean. And briefly feared for his life while reenacting a Bible story unwillingly. He was swallowed by a humpback whale. And you're like, yeah, right. We've heard that story. Jonah, all of that, you get spat out. No, it's on video. He and his kayak just the humpback whale. It does not eat people or kayaks. It eats all those little tiny, what is it, krill?
Yeah,
the little tiny, almost microscopic little bugs. But it
gets
grabs
thousands.
They live near the surface, and it comes up and it grabs like masses of seawater, and then strains the seawater out and keeps the krill. Well, the kayaker was in the wrong place at the right time, and and got firsthand the whale feeding, and he saw it from the inside. And honestly, he says he feared for his life briefly. Now the whale spat him out promptly, and he was wearing the proper safety gear. I mean, if the whale had just held on to him too long and dived down, he would be a dead man. But it spat him out promptly, and now he has a story to tell, and the video to prove it. that he in fact is the best person to reenact the Bible story about Jonah.
Yeah.
Swallowed by a whale.
What's crazy to me, I read the article twice, and I'm not the most intelligent person on the earth. Chat knows that, but I had a hard time following the story because his son was there involved in videotaping as well. Or
the dad was filming. The son was worried about his dad. The water is freezing cold. Okay, so he's in wintertime kayaking gear, which the water's barely not frozen. So he was worried for a couple things. More, he was worried for his dad. He was worried that the water was going to get him because the temperature, that'll suck the warmth out of you. Cold water, if you've ever done an ice bath,
yes,
it hits you really, really hard. So
when you're in shape, those are phenomenal.
Yes, briefly. when you have a sauna nearby, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're not so much fun out in nature, where you then have a long way back to land.
100%. While I missed a total layup here that I even mentioned to you before we started the show. I'm looking up here, but we're still on animals, so I'm going to rewind.
Okay.
I know it's been a rough week for everybody, and continues to be so. And the podcast is a huge upper, so I don't want this to be a downer. I want chat to please take this as a really cool thing because of the movement it has started. And I think I might have even spoken about this in the past, so some of you might recognize this story. But diving back into the venomous snake story, this weekend is a huge weekend for me and my family personally, as well as my in-laws and all the extended family. And then it's because there's an event on Saturday, which is called the Payton's Project. And what that is, Payton is my brother and sister-in-law's child. I believe she was 2 when this took place. They were at their lake house playing, having a great time when she went down the slide, and a rattlesnake got a hold of her leg. And because the lake house is far off the beaten path, unfortunately, they couldn't save her in time, and she had passed. So with this devastating event that took place, her family started what's called Payton's Project, and it's a giant fundraiser. And let me preface with, I am not pitching this to have any of you donate or asking for anything like that. The awareness is what they like most for people to know. So what this fundraiser does, it actually buys vials of anti-venom to put in small rural hospitals that can't afford it. Because if I'm not mistaken, one little bottle of anti-venom is like $20,000.
Yeah.
And some individuals take 2, 4, 6, 10 or more, depending on how it was. So it's more of an awareness thing for those that live in venomous snake areas and populations of what can happen. And if you have areas or organizations or anything that support something similar to this in your areas, it's something really cool to look into, and it's really neat.
Put the link in chat real quick. The group.
Okay.
Do you have that?
Yeah. So it's a Facebook link, and I'm just putting this here. It's their Facebook page, so you can read on to the actual story and everything that took place. But I think I just wanted to bring it up because we had the snake story. I have this event Saturday night. Just being aware of it and what happens and how crazy it really is. I didn't understand that a simple snake bite until I learned this through my family. Of you can't just go to any hospital and get fixed. You really have to be prepared and know what's around you. So
yeah, the scary thing, a lot of you know that for a long time I was a Boy Scout troop leader. I was a scoutmaster, and one of the things that scouts do a lot is go out in the middle of nowhere and camp. We camped probably 12 months out of the year, and sometimes we were gone for a week, sometimes we were gone for a couple days, sometimes it was just overnight. But as a leader, I was always terrified, because right. you can bring your allergy meds, and you can bring your first aid kit, and you can have your cell phone to call if somebody needs some help. My son's calling me. Speaking of that, I don't know what he wants. I'll talk later. I'll message him. Can I call you later? Sorry, I can't talk right now. There we go. But when there's a snake bite like that and you're dealing with the venom, it is a race against time.
Yes.
and sometimes the math just doesn't add up. You could, even if you were right on the phone with 911 saying send the helicopter now, it's just you can't make that connection fast enough. So it was terrifying, and the idea that someone might get bit by a snake like that and go to their local Instacare in a rural town, and they're there to get help, but the place can't help them because they don't have this extremely expensive antivenom.
Yeah,
it's an awesome project. It's really cool. Thank you very much for sharing that one.
It's really neat. It's a lot of fun. They do a fantastic job. It's I forget that. Oh gosh, I should know this. I've been to so many now. It's Spurs and Pearls, I think, is a themed country based off of where we live. So it's really neat. They get cool songwriters that come in, like people that wrote all the songs for Garth Brooks and those people. They come in, and there's a little private pre-party for the family on Friday night where they get to meet the music artist and kind of hang out. And then Saturdays where all the donors show up, and it's catered obviously with barbecue. And then they do a live show, and they tell the stories about the artists they've written music for in those songs. And what I love most is, I'm right here on the spot. I'm not going to figure it out, but they'll start in on a story of a song that everyone, whether you like country or not, you've heard it and you know what it is and the name of it. And they'll say, I wrote this in this time and sent it to so-and-so. And they said no. And I kind of refined it. I sent, and then Garth Brooks picked it up, and, it's like his number 3 hit song of all time. And then he'll
called Rodeo. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll play it. So they do a great time putting this together, but it's for a really cool cause. So more than anything, I just want to bring it up because we had the snake story. It's going to be part of my week here. But for those that don't know, it's a thing, be cautious where you're at and what you're doing, because just because there's a hospital nearby, if something happens, doesn't mean they can help. So
if you're seriously looking for advice, Crazy Cat Queen actually had some good running advice. And I thought of some maybe not so good running advice, but Crazy Cat Queen had like the proper medication, and the day before, let's see, here we go, right here. Pre-medicate before the race, 1,000 milligrams Tylenol, 440 naproxen with banana, a banana.
That's my issue, the banana.
Run, yeah, you're out with the banana. You're like, never mind, I'd rather die. Run a slow race that you can maintain. Then once you cannot run, 2-minute walk, 5-minute run intervals. So that's great advice. My advice was to imagine the snakes were behind you and see if that would somehow spur you on to, get a couple extra miles in.
Crazy cat
time a little bit.
Screens advice, got it.
What's that?
I had to take a picture of the advice.
Okay.
Best advice is don't do it. But I'm committed, and I had to pay for registration, and I had to pay for late registration.
And the Uber. I mean, all these charges add up.
They have to have a shuttle cart for those that are limping along and can't do it. I'm counting on one of those to be there.
Talk to Amanda. See if she can line something up for you.
It's crazy, but I'm excited. Speaking of time and me not breaking any records.
Yes.
Yeah, Heelys would be great. Although I feel like someone would fight me if they saw me going through in Heelys.
Like, we downhill, love it. What's the problem?
Totally. We talk about records often on this channel, and obviously a lot of records have to do with time. This one's nuts to me. A 14-year-old human calculator. Have you seen any of these videos? Not specifically of him, but just in general, people that they say like 1,042,800 plus 985,000.2, and they within 2 seconds know it.
I've watched there's I think it's an advertisement where the kids, they're doing like mental math, and they do this little finger game, and they're add subtract random numbers, and then all in their head and on their fingers with some little code. I don't know what it is. I can't break their code. And then they just say what the number is. But those are small numbers. I can't imagine doing it with large numbers.
I can't either. Real quick, Megan says, speaking of some sociology things, your birthday August, I think I'm talking players parent. Nope, I'm in January, which I'm on the cusp of Aquarius, and what I've told, I'm stubborn, so that all kind of equates to me and how I behave. But a 14-year-old human calculator from India put his mental math to the test, broke 6 Guinness World Records in one day.
Which might be, it's a record in and of itself.
I think it broke his. set his first Guinness World Record at about a year ago when he took on the record for fastest time to
mentally add 55-digit numbers on the set of the Italian TV series Lo Show di Record. I don't speak Italian. Lo Show di Record is in Italian with an Italian accent. How was that?
nailed it.
Nailed it first try. Okay, so he's adding 50 5-digit numbers. So if there were let's see. So he ends up with at least a 6-digit number, right? Think it's just the bare minimum. 55 digit. If there's got to be a 1 at the front at least, or it wouldn't be a 5-digit number, right? It's got to be at least 10,000 to be a 5-digit number.
Right.
And 10,000s would be 100,000.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it would be up to, I mean, if they were all 99,000s, then you might get up into 200,000, 300,000. I don't think it would be into the million mark. Thomas Getty Gold doesn't have to run. He saw your advice. It's like, oh, I would. I'm actually heartbroken over this. But the nose is running, the feet can't.
He's nicknamed the human calculator by the Guinness World Records. He said practices math for 5 to 6 hours a day to keep his mind sharp. I avoid math for 5 to 6 months out of the year to not be involved with it. Two totally different worlds here, my friend. Good on him. He's gonna do some amazing things.
There are some people who can just do that. It mentally it clicks. Their mind works on a different level. I know I've got a cousin who awesome kid. He's I don't know, he's probably 20 in his mid-20s right now. You can ask him any day in history, any date, and he'll tell you what day of the week it was. And he doesn't know how he does it. He's just like, you're like, okay, so my birthday was, XYZ date back in this year. He's like, that was on a Wednesday.
Oh, I could never. No, not even close.
Like, do you just mentally you're like flipping calendar pages and seeing, I don't know how he does it. I have a hard enough time figuring out if it's a leap year currently. So I couldn't figure out what day it was in the week, but.
Well, my wife and I ask this probably 2 times a day. Hey, what day is it? current day.
And when I answer that, I pull out my phone. I check.
Hey, Alexa, what day is it?
Yep. My mind has not been kept sharp.
We've got some props on the show. Now,
we have a poll as well.
You put up a poll, which I will say, I have a few things myself because Scott told me he was going to bring a few things, and he actually sent me a photo. And because I'm a terrible partner, I didn't look at the photo. So one of the 3 items I got is the same, which is the Cheetos Mexican street corn.
Well, if I end the poll right now, the poll shows that Cheetos Mexican street corn Cheetos are the winner with 34% as the what we should try tonight. So I have.
Oh, the green screen. Oh.
It looks like this.
Yeah, that's
we have the same bag. Trust me.
Yeah. I'm toast.
I've got a tight key. That's what works so well.
I will say I pre-opened all of my stuff. Didn't taste or smell, but just to save a little bit of time. So in case anyone's like, wait a minute, like notice.
You didn't dump them out and put regular good tasting Cheetos in?
No, and I didn't even, when I opened them, so 2 of my items are Pringles. When I popped the top and peeled off the top, I threw it over in the counter and I put the plastic back on to make sure I did not smell it. Yeah, because I didn't want to be tainted by this.
Well, I'll do the I don't know what they pack this in, nitrogen or whatever. I'm going to do the smell test as we open it. I'm sure it's a carcinogen, whatever it is when you inhale it.
Helium balloon.
With the ASMR. Ready? Oh, it's a fainter, almost a popcorn like smell at first.
Man, y'all got off easy time. There's more to come, but yes, this is probably easier. So I will say, I love Mexican street corn. I do not care for Cheetos.
Okay. This is. It doesn't smell fresh. Can I say that? I mean, it is. It's fresh. It's been sealed.
I would agree.
It doesn't have that aroma that's just like yum.
It kind of stinks.
It's more like there's a chance it might taste better than it smells, is what I'm thinking.
And a hope.
I'm really hoping.
Because it doesn't smell. But all right.
Taking a look in the bag, it looks like this.
I'm starving.
The Cheetos are they're the crunchy.
I'm one down.
Regular size.
I was texting Scott. I got done with my run and was starving and didn't have any food. So this is probably the worst thing ever that I'm going to refuel with chips and whatnot. I've had two. I already know.
I have the impression that I'm eating styrofoam packing peanuts with a hint of pepper. Like, but it's a crunchy packing peanut. The texture's right.
Yeah, they may, because 80% taste is smell.
I'm eating packing peanuts, but crunchier. Imagine not like the soft squishy ones, the squeaky styrofoam ones that break into a million pieces and you can never vacuum up. But like, imagine if packing peanuts were brittle, or even the soybean ones, right? You know, the ones that are like waterproof, where you just get them wet and the packing peanuts just it's like that, but crunchy. Because the Cheeto sort of pulverize. What do you want to say? It pulverizes. You can masticate it easily, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like nothing left but a little bit of pepper flavor. I'm not supposed to eat. Now you tell me, Bug Bugger. Now I was today years old. There is no flavor.
There it is. Crazy Cat Quit. There's your answer. There's no real flavor. I will say this. I love Mexican street corn. Corn Nuts make a version of it. It is my go-to snack that I buy at the gas station for the golf course because they're amazing. They're packed with flavor. They're so good. The crunch is heavier because it's a corn nut. These fall far below the corn nut version. These I will not buy nor eat. And I love Mexican street corn.
You know how occasionally in a bag of Doritos, you get that one chip that was like triple seasoned?
Yeah.
I'm looking for that one, hoping that there's like a triple seasoned Cheeto in here so I can really experience the flavor, but it's not
to go
there.
the whole bag.
It's like puffed wheat with pepper, maybe.
Yeah, they really missed the
really
boat.
Dry.
They really missed the boat. I tried
My kids won't like these either. I don't know what. I'm hoping the flavor kicks in. Sometimes there's like an aftertaste, right? Initially, it's like heat can catch up to you. You're like, oh, the first one wasn't hot, second one wasn't hot, third, fourth, fifth. It's like now I'm feeling the heat. I'm waiting to see if the flavor kicks in, and it's not.
One bite of corn, and you should know the corn.
Chester, the cheetah, you guys missed on this one. A big miss. Maybe there's like a dip you could use it.
No.
Is there
you dip it in a trash can and just let it sit there. That's what I'm doing with mine.
Set mine right up there and just let it be.
No, he says deepest apologies. I voted for those packing peanuts. I didn't know. It sounded like they would be good. I thought they'd be good too, to be honest with you.
They took up a huge section on the shelf. Like there's as far as a floor space, shelf space in a store, they went big with Mexican street corn Cheetos.
Big time.
And I'm in North Carolina, right? We don't have a lot of Mexican food. I mean, you almost have to hunt for the salsa around here. You don't find it. But they went big on this. And
Kelly J, they were Mexican street corn flavored Cheetos, and they were no bueno. And they won the poll tonight. Everyone thought they'd probably be the best. I did too. Now, for the record,
they look exactly like this picture. Other than the like the expires by stamp on it, it's not an appetizing look. It's very much like a corn puff. That one actually has a little more flavor than the other, so I'm going to give this one a go.
Should be expired by yesterday. That's what it should say. And for the record, that is the only item Scott and I both had. The rest of them are different, so it won't be the same. I know
why I keep eating them.
I would like to know an answer because I keep watching you eat them, and I'm curious. They're bad.
They're terrible. It feels like a Cheeto.
Oh, so you like Cheetos?
Mentally, I'm thinking the next one's going to be a Cheeto, and it's not.
And that makes sense because I don't like Cheetos. So after 2 of them, I was able to throw them over there.
I've trained my brain. The Cheeto is goes straight to the veins and to the fat rolls. But
Court says Ari Secret likes them.
They're not good.
They're not good.
I like pepper. I mean, I like pepper jerky, and there is pepper there, but there's not any. I mean, what else is in Mexican street corn? Corn, right? The corn flavor is weak, if there at all.
Not there.
The peppers. What else do you put in it? Is there lime? I'm not tasting lime.
Oh yeah, there's definitely lime. There's usually tahini or some sort of like that, and then chili powder. Not always tahini.
What, mayo and something else, or I don't know what they put in it.
Like cojita cheese, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but something like that. It's amazing. Yeah, see, tahini, cilantro, lime, exactly. I'm going to jump ahead so you quit eating those nasty things.
Somebody take this bag.
So I don't mind. Here's my remaining 2. So I went with Pringles, which, unlike Cheetos, I don't dislike a Pringle. I've got the hot ones, which is from First Meat Feast. And it's the they make a few of these. This is the barbacoa version. And then this one really strikes me. I don't think it's going to be good, but Philly cheesesteak.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen them. I've never had either. So I feel like I'm going to like the hot ones more because I like spicy stuff, and that seems easier to make just a spicy chip. I feel those both sound gross.
So
I love a Philly cheesesteak, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
Is that onion rings? I mean, what is that? Is that a tapeworm they're showing? What is that above?
Oh, I got to eat this.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I can't see what the picture is.
Well,
it's my bad eyes.
We'll go with tapeworm. So it's a Philly cheesesteak sandwich with a chip, and then with
it looks onions. Like rubber bands. It looks like rubber bands just like floating over the chip.
Well, that's better than tapeworms. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna save the hot ones for last. You can just make a spicy generic chip, but
I have 2. I have 2 hot ones to choose. I went all Cheetos. I was big on Chester Cheetah.
I see that.
With the aisle I was standing on when I got this idea was the chip aisle, and so I've got a couple more brands of Cheetos, and I have the honey mustard Ruffles.
I saw those, but they sounded too good too fast to not be part of the show. I went, well, that's going to be good.
I've never had a honey mustard.
Ever on anything?
I mean, I've mixed ketchup and mayo, but you don't mix like ranch
what does that have to do with honey mustard?
they're 2 condiments, right? Honey and mustard. Honey and butter, yeah, but not honey and mustard.
That's not really how it tastes. You can't think honey and mustard. That's not.
It literally says honey mustard.
Well, okay, buffalo sauce. You're not eating a buffalo. Okay,
that actually soothes my soul just a little bit. I was worried. I'm sure there aren't enough of them on the Great Plains anymore. Do you try the hot ones? Are you eating the Mexican street corn again?
No, those are in the trash already. No, I'm eating the Philly cheesesteak. So I will say this much. There's a morsel of Philly cheesesteak flavoring kind of in there. Not much at all. Other than that, it doesn't taste like that.
It's like a plain Pringles with a tiny bit of sprinkled seasoning on it or something.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't hate it. It's way better than those Cheetos. Just because of the pure salt and MSG, I would still keep eating these because I'm starving. Or I could see at a party if people are having beers on a holiday and want a salty chip, they would go after these. They wouldn't know what they are if you take them out of the package by any means.
I'm pretty sure the Pringles are also going to be good. They're loaded with carbs, good for you for running and everything.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's going to help you on that half marathon here in a week.
Perfect. I'll keep on these. The onion flavor aftertaste is now pretty strong. That's what's kind of kicking in.
Now, that's why they had 2 onions on there instead of just 1.
I'm glad you said onions and not tapeworms. Correct.
They doubled up on the onions. Okay, I'm going to try the honey mustard then. If you had a really good one,
you're gonna love the honey mustard.
Let's smell the nitrogen first. It's this smells, I kid you not, it smells exactly the same as the Mexican street corn.
Well, it's the same air that's pumped into those bags.
Yeah, but I was thinking there would be at least a little aroma of the chip. It's there. These particular ones are double crunch, which means they have bigger riffles and extra dry, I think.
Whoa. Chat heard it too. We got to back up. What did you call the texture on the chip? You said they have double
ripples. The way
I heard riffles. I heard the ruffles.
Ruffles is the brand, not the shape.
Oh,
it's a wavy chip.
Yeah, Susie heard it. Riffles. Chat, help me out. Are they riffles or ruffles? See, we just said. Oh, so heard riffles. Everyone heard riffles.
What is a riffle?
It's the model of the chip. It's
a ripple is on the water, right? So if you have a little wave, you throw a rock in, the little ripples go out from it, right?
That would be a ripple. But
what's a ripple?
So what's
a riffle? A riffle is not on a chip, but also a little wave. Riffles have ridges. The ridge is a part of the riffle. The ridge is the up of the riffle. The riffle is the up and the down together. That makes what flavor ruffles. Wendy, I'm doing honey mustard and differently from the Mexican street corn. This actually does taste like mustard, not like honey.
Can you taste it? It's like honey with a little bit of a twang. It's not like it's like mustard with a little bit of a twang. It's not like a sweet mustard, like one would think that's never had it in their adult life.
Yeah, it's not like, this isn't like French's yellow mustard, right? It's not that flavor. But no. I can taste the mustard. It does have some sort of seasoning. I don't know. It might be paprika for all I know. But there's no sweet. There's no sweet from honey at all. Are you telling me there's no honey in honey mustard? So, should there be honey? Mustard is twang.
Chris is right. As soon as I said it, I went, yeah, it was poor description on my behalf. 100% correct. Okay, I'm going back.
It's got a good flavor. You're going back? You're going back to the Mexican street corn?
They're better than the Pringles Philly cheesesteak now that I've gone back. And I don't like
tapeworms.
Oh, gosh. This has got to be the worst show on the internet.
Do you want some Cheetos Mexican street corn? Here, take the bag.
Bless those.
I won't be needing it. My son likes them. He says, not bad. Okay, now try this honey mustard.
My thing is, when you have to refer to food as not bad, this food's supposed to be good. It can be great.
What are you comparing it to? Are you starving right now? You just came back from work. He's starving. My son's starving, and he's a teenager. So he's like, everything's good. Calories, good. You like honey mustard is a thumbs up. The Cheeto Mexican street corn. Now, I don't like jalapeno. Honey mustard pretzels.
From the chat, what's that really popular pretzel brand? It starts with a D, I believe. I just got introduced to it myself from a colleague last year. Yes, Dots. Holy cow. I've had like every flavor of those. And it's an incredible pretzel. Amazing. Now,
Dots does flavor well. They have, I would even say they might have too much flavor on some of their pretzels. They go above and beyond. You're never going to have like I'm not sure what flavor this is moment with the Dots pretzel. It's more of like it socks you right in the mouth from the first bite.
You would love the honey mustard dots. In fact, next week, that's what you've got to try.
Honey mustard dots.
Mm-hmm. They're amazing. All right, next one. What do you have next?
I've got cheddar jalapeno crunchy Cheetos. I have buffalo crunchy buffalo Cheetos.
Okay, I only have one more, so I'll let you go ahead.
I also have a beverage, 2 beverages, in case I wanted to switch to something colder. I've got V8s, a limited edition of V8. I'm not sure, hot something.
And Liquid Death.
And Liquid Death, yes, a can of Liquid Death. It's called it's the Bury It Alive flavor of Liquid Death.
That sounds like me after the marathon. Just bury me alive.
I've paged the waiter to bring me my beverages.
You're getting some shout outs to give Buffalo a run.
The Buffalo, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I admit, I know that this cheddar jalapeno is everywhere. You can buy this at any store. I don't like jalapeno very much. I mean, I'll do jalapeno poppers. I'll do the jalapeno peppers that come with your pizza. I'll eat those, but just the jalapeno flavor, especially if it's a fired jalapeno, it's not very flavorful for me. I need a different pepper. Liquid Death is water. Okay.
So Kenneth, I learned this though as well in my ski trip group. They brought coffee that was Liquid Death, and it was like 10 times the caffeine of 1 cup. Same brand. So I told Scott to be careful, and then he showed me. He's like, it's a thing of water. So I learned something new here. So this is Buffalo.
Buffalo is good. Buffalo has a ton of flavor,
but it's still a Cheeto.
It's got the initial, like the salt, the heat. Is it Frank's? Is it Frank's? It just says Buffalo on it. It does. It's nailed the flavor for the hot sauce.
Okay.
That's on the front end. You get all the crispiness and the crunch of the Cheeto. On the backside, you get that slow burn. Boom. Just that fire. Treading over the desk. Looking for a sponsor. Obviously, Cheetos is not the one.
So you like the flavor of buffalo and the spice, but you don't like the flavor of a jalapeno, but you like it spice? Or what's the issue there?
Hang on one second. I'm getting a more flavor profile.
Oh, you already said you love it. So we know what you're doing from here.
I had ice cream for dinner, just for the record, just to cleanse my palate before this. Vanilla. So I didn't.
Fair.
What was the question again?
So you like the buffalo flavor and the spice, but you don't like the jalapeno flavor, but you like the jalapeno spice?
I found the burn.
Ooh. Oh, he's on.
I got a piece of Cheeto like right down the throat, and it's smoldering there. So I just don't like fresh jalapeno, like fresh cooked jalapeno that's like fired on the grill or something like that.
Okay.
I don't like. I don't know if it's an oil it produces when you cook it, when you heat it up or something. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's got natural oils.
I like it pickled. I like it fresh, just in salsa, but it's not my favorite pepper. It's probably my least favorite pepper. It's right there. It's barely above bell as far as flavor goes.
Bell peppers. It's just.
I want a chili. I want an Anaheim. I want a Serrano, a habanero, something like that. I'm fine with the heat, but I just don't like the
flavor. Okay.
Just the jalapeno.
Perfect. All right. So Buffalo's a go. I'm going to try the Pringles. It's from the show Hot Ones. I don't know if everyone's seen the show or not.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor from First We Feast. If you haven't seen it, it's a series where celebrities sit down with a host and they get interviewed and they try a chicken wing that's dipped in 10 different sauces that are graded level 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute hottest and very hot. So Tishy, check it out. It's all over YouTube. It's actually pretty cool. They interview celebrities with it, ask them cool questions, and some of them take the heat great. Some of them can't. They water, milk, ice, they need it. Some are just nailing it. So these are made from that show. Again, this didn't tell me what level of spice it has compared to what's on the show. It's just barbacoa, so I don't think it's going to be very hot. but it's a fun show. Yeah, see Taylor. She's seen it. Anyways, so that's from the show. I like spicy, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm looking for like a ghost pepper reaction here. Thomas might need to call an ambulance.
I make ghost pepper salsa all the time.
Okay, so is there heat? It doesn't build or anything?
It's trying to grow a little bit. It would be way too hot for my wife. Like, she can't eat spicy ketchup.
She eats mild ketchup, yeah. So
this she couldn't eat. For me, I think it tastes really great. I've never had the exact sauce that's on the bottle that it's trying to replicate, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It just tastes like a spicy potato chip. Mild, very mild, spicy. Good. Tonight, this is the best thing I've had. And I'm going to finish this off while you finish the show.
Okay. Well, I've got two things. I've got either hot honey limited edition V8, which I've already given honey a shot tonight. So I might put that on the, right over here on top of my stickers. And then I've got this can of Liquid Death, which even has like a skull on it, like a weird design of a skull. It's hard to see because it's cold. It's been in the fridge. I'm going with the Liquid Death. Bury it alive. I think this, if nothing else, will cleanse the only thing I'm not excited about this is I noticed on the ingredients that it's carbonated. And I've had a Liquid Death before that was literally just bottled water in a can. And I have to admit, it was really just refreshing, pure, everything you would want from cold water that has nothing bad in it. So
they make different flavors, or what's their MO? Like what?
Well, funny you should ask, because it's written here on the can somewhere. I just can't read it. This ruthless tall boy of flavored sparkling water has a twisted plan to use natural agave and exploding bubbles to murder your thirst and recycle your soul. That's their plan. It's basically just a business model, right? Wrapped up into one big logo, Liquid Death. So we'll give it a try here.
I'm really curious. Now I want to try it.
If this explodes all over my gear, I'm in trouble.
Mind the laptop. Okay.
No bubbles over. Easy open top.
But it's carbonated. That I can't get past.
I didn't know that when I picked it up. It's barely carbonated. Like barely at all. Yeah, it's not like Sprite. No. This is far from Sprite. Sprite is like carbonated water with a little bit of sugar and a hint of lemon, or a lot of sugar and a hint of lemon. But this is not something I would drink for refreshment.
Okay.
Because it does have the carbonation. I don't like drinking carbonation. This is something that does feel like I would, if I were like a taste testing competition and I had to cleanse the palate, it would do that. Carbonation will do that. Sort of like bubbles on the tongue, washes everything off, rinse it down, you're good to go, right? It does have a I would say a more than mild berry smell aroma to it.
Okay.
But the smell is stronger than the taste.
This is Miss Lisa. Thought the same thing. I don't like carbonation, except when it's a Mountain Dew.
I had a Mountain Dew in over a month.
Wow. You have to try hot honey, Chris OG says. Okay, well, I will say this from that sample, but your past experience and what chat has been saying, I am really curious to try the Liquid Death regular water, or non-carbonated water, I should say. Grab a couple flavors of it. I've never seen it, so I don't know where to get it.
It's basically like Fiji water or Smart Water, just in a can.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I do think that it's better cold. Drinking it warm out of a can it makes the experience worse than drinking warm bottled water. I cannot drink a warm liquid out of a can. It's got to be ice cold.
Yeah, warm liquid purposes. Kelly busted me. Yeah, I've been chowing.
Man, we have a million stories we're supposed to get to about artwork and
Well, you got to do the V8.
I've got to do.
We always do audibles. Here's
Okay.
what I'm drinking. This isn't liquid death.
Here's
got the Gatorade rehydrate going.
Getting you ready for the race. Here's the problem. I've got the half gallon, right? No, 46 ounces. And no cup. Oh, hang on. I've got to show you this. On the bottom, when you tip it,
all the stuff that's sitting there.
There's sediment.
Yep.
We'll have to get that stirred up because you have to get the full experience. That might be the honey flavor on the bottom.
It's like when you take a big scoop when you're metal detecting.
It's not like metal detecting at all. It's not dirt. I'm saying it's like it's blended vegetables. It's the flavor. It's the nutrients that you're expected to have in this. This is hot honey limited edition. I wonder if it's limited because it's so bad, right? But on the picture, it's basically tomatoes, carrots, celery, lettuce. Looks like red onion, a little bit of parsley. And it's got peppers.
And they're all grown in the dirt, just FYI.
Peppers and honeycomb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have to drink this like a heathen because I do not have any cups, and I'm not gonna.
Oh, right out of the bottle.
I'm gonna chug. Yeah, it's the same way you drink milk, just right out of the gallon at a time. No, just kidding.
You don't have to chug it. You just drink it out of the bottle. It's a sample taste here.
Important part: the seal was unbroken. It smells like V8 immediately. No tapeworms.
Hey, boy.
You says six volts on cannonball. No, hang on.
Crank the tank.
This is good.
Really?
Hang on.
I need to put these dang Pringles away so I can eat a real dinner when I'm done. Gee, Merry Christmas.
This is really good. This is great V8. So you can taste the celery. You've got the V8 flavor, the base V8 flavor, which is good. The heat is all at the very back of the throat. And the front has the honey, but the honey's mild. It's just a touch of sweetness. The flavor, you get the full experience. Like your entire tongue gets to take part. It's not just one area of taste buds. It says it's medium heat, and I would say that it is hotter than. I mean, if you don't like spicy stuff, you're not going to like this. I always, every time I fly, if I go anywhere, I ask for tomato juice. It is the only time I drink tomato juice. Like I have not had tomato juice since I last flew. What does that say? V8 hot honey. Yeah,
it's my grocery app. Yep, I just added it. I'm giving it a try for sure.
I'll always ask for a tomato juice, and the reason I started doing it is because nobody else wants tomato juice on the flight, and so I get the whole can. You don't have to split it with anybody, right? So it's like, well, you might as well take the can because it's just going to be thrown away at the end of the flight. So
right.
But this takes me. I mean, I feel like I'm 35,000 feet high. This is good stuff. I'm not going to share this.
Allison said, "Isn't it like a Bloody Mary?"
I don't drink, so I don't know. It might be having my first Bloody Mary right now.
Just sans vodka. Then you're. And yes, where WeBug. That's where my mind went into red beers. That sounds like a perfect mixture for that. I don't know the whole story, but apparently we have a restaurant in town. It's the originator of the red beer or the red draw, whichever you want to call it. Big thing behind it. And you can still pull up in a parking spot, order from your vehicle, and they bring you beer. You just sit in your vehicle drinking beer, and then you can leave. I haven't been in a decade, but still a thing. He loves it.
This is so good. The heat is just right. Just like it's just that little burn afterwards, and it's not like, oh, I'm on fire. It's like a warm glow at the back of your throat, and then it slowly fades.
Yeah, because like you can have really spicy food, it'd be great, but if you put too much spice in a drink, it just ruins the drink. That's kind of a cap there.
I think they nailed this one. The honey is the mildest flavor in there, but it's perceptible, but not overbearing.
How does it taste when you eat a buffalo chip and chase it with the V8? Is it the perfect combo? Oh, the gross Cheetos?
No.
Oh no, the Cheetos are the buffalo. I forgot. I thought it was the ruffle or the riffle.
The V8 is definitely better. Buffalo is just like, it's one flavor. Like the whole thing is just one flavor, and then you get the Cheeto crunch, where the V8 is like a full mouth experience. So,
well, we did it.
Yeah.
We only have 4 stories to go through. No, we always audible on the show. I know we're past the hour, and some people want to go portal to Ian. I've seen a chat, but there's one thing I want to touch on real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll set up the portal.
I threw this on the sheet because all of you have been here long enough to know we do like 3 things we love and 3 we don't, and change it up. It's a little different segment. So I threw one on here that I thought was really cool at first. And actually on my run today, I thought about it. And what I threw on there was, I didn't add it to the list, is 3 things that have gotten better or worse with time. And as I was going about it, I realized you can almost equate things that all got better, but can be used for evil or worse. And I had one example came to mind, right? Was the creation of YouTube and the volume of videos. How many of us, especially in this chat, have used YouTube to fix something around the house, around the car, to learn to crochet or learn some sort of hobby, anything out there, right? That was done in a great way that we didn't have access to pre-YouTube. Amazing. That's
how I'm building my house.
There you go. Right. So almost all of us, probably. There's a great chance. I know I've done that, but holy cow, just from watching your channel, I have learned so much more about our country's legal system than I ever knew before. And it's been fantastic. And then I was thinking about it. So I could easily put that in the category of things that have gotten better over time. But then I think about how many people out there have learned how to build a pipe bomb because of YouTube. And that's bad.
I can also raise my hand to that one.
Well, okay, but with nefarious intentions, I should say that. But that's, oh my gosh, sidebar. Just, okay, if I can get, no, it's too late. My daughter showed me a picture last night of, I was sleeping, and her friend were on FaceTime, and she took a picture of me, and they put makeup all over my face. They did it like 4 days ago, but she just showed me last night. Her and my wife knew all about it for like a week, and then they just admitted it. So I will pull that up for the next show.
This is a digital creation, or just while you were just so sacked out that they just painted your face?
No, digital. Yeah, I was sacked out. They took a picture and then they went in edit, but they loved it. Thought it was amazing. Ha 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 ha. So I'll let them have their fun. I'll show it because it's kind of funny. But so that was an example I have. But what's something you can think of? I mean, the technology is the easy one, right? There's like safety features in vehicles, which I thought about. Some of them I hate. There's the lane departure assist in some of the new cars.
Takes all the fun out of swerving at people.
Well, that when you're an animated driver,
makes road rage so much harder.
So much harder. It's road rage. But our cars and our truck specifically has it. And when we're going down the highway and I'm passing, an 18-wheeler on the right, and if they start kind of inching over a little bit, I might kind of inch over into my left shoulder to give them some space and keep them away. Well, the lane departure starts throwing me back towards the truck that's coming.
Like, no, hold your own. Don't give in.
Yeah.
Defend your space.
Right. So I'm like, it's great if maybe you're dozing off and something happens and you keep there. But in that situation, so the whole premise was thinking we can name a few things apiece that are tremendously great now because of time.
Things have got better. Mouse
tremendously worse. But then I was like, I can find a good and a bad for almost everything. I didn't think about mouse traps. So that's good.
Gas cans got worse. Mouse traps got better.
Gas cans are awful. They're terrible. But yeah, Kathy, turn that off. Amen. I turned every assisted driving thing off. It's awful. I hate it. But I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to scroll up through chat. All right, you got lip burn. Let's see. I hate the lane departure.
My lips are on fire. But some of it's the Mexican Cheeto, and I don't want to lick that off because it's not good.
It's fair. But you're a big tech guy, so you would say technology's gotten great, right?
It's made drastic improvements. Look at battery life. In the last 15 years, how much longer tech devices can last using a battery. Of course, now we tax them to the limit, and our phones still only last one day. If our phones did now what they did 15 years ago, our battery would last for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe you charge it once a month, and that's all you need. But the technology has boomed. I mean, look at the equipment we use to work on tools around the house. The way the batteries have gotten lighter and bigger, I can charge the Sawzall that I need and use it all day long without a problem. Where it used to be on the NiCads, I might be able to cut through a pipe on 2 batteries.
Yeah,
and
great point.
It's just so big advancements.
So those are some tremendous things. But they talk about they don't make it like they used to. There's so many you could say that to, but if you kind of chop it down, yeah, they don't, but the features and things that come with it that make it better, more comfortable, easier, to get along with. That's like it's gotten better. Let's see. I forgot something. I had one earlier and I forgot it. Well, you can look at sporting equipment. What baseball bats, cleats, running shoes, hockey equipment. I mean, all of it's tremendous now. But with that comes cost. It's crazy expensive. See, here's another good one. To my point, Kelly P, appliances don't last as long. You're right, but they have refrigerators with TVs that connect your front camera and like stuff like so. It's incredibly.
They have cameras that will show you what's on inside the fridge without opening it up.
Yes,
tap on the front. But remember, like growing up, like my parents, they had a Hoover. They had a Hoover vacuum. That thing was bomb proof. It would vacuum. Nothing could stop it. Occasionally, you might have to replace a belt, but that Hoover vacuum, and it was made of like steel, like industrial grade steel,
like a Kirby.
Nowadays, you buy yourself a little Shark battery powered vacuum, and they're nearly disposable because after 2 weeks, either you lose the pieces or it just breaks. The charger doesn't work anymore. They have gotten worse for sure.
Yeah, we had a Kirby. Salesman got my mom on it, and my dad made fun of her, I think, or maybe me teased her because the salesman got it, whatever. And I think we had it for like 2.5 decades.
She had almost paid it off.
It might still be at my dad's house. I'm not sure. The thing lasted forever. It was bulletproof.
There's still demand for them. Yeah, you can look online. Look at what an old vacuum goes for.
Really?
Some people are attached to them for sure.
Look at Laura down in South Texas. My mom still uses her Kirby. That's awesome.
Do you ever have the guy that came around to the house and he's trying to sell a cleaning solution? And their little gambit was when the door was open, he'd take like a magic marker and color on your carpet. And then you couldn't like shut the door and leave because he's giving his whole sales pitch and like, you just ruined my carpet. Well, of course, he's got a cleaning solution that will make it all go away. But it was the most aggressive sales approach I've ever seen. It's like as soon as the door's open, the guy's just like, magic marker on the carpet. Now that I've got your attention and you can't make me leave, let me give you the pitch.
Never had that one, and I'm glad never did because old Sheriff Papa of mine might have put a little round through his cleaning bottle if he stepped in the house.
Something else on the carpet here in a little bit.
Yeah,
man,
that would have been a bad deal. But that kind of reminds me, yeah. Podcasts have gotten worse over time.
Not any specific podcast, just generally podcasts have gotten worse. Present company excluded, of course. Oh man, I'm just impressed that we made it all the way without a dad joke. So this might be the first week. So let's hurry to end the show before Thomas comes up with one. No one's thrown any tomatoes. I've got tomato juice, but that's it.
No. Podcast was fun. Had a whale of a time.
Quick recap on the food: Cheetos, Mexican street corn, pass, hard pass. Liquid Death, buried alive in a pinch. Buffalo Cheetos, I would say yes, but I probably won't eat the whole bag, which is good because it's like family size. And then the big winner is, for me, the V8 Honey, Hot Honey, which is limited edition, meaning you need to go out and buy it now. Not a sponsor. Thomas, as far as the ones you had, what's the wins and the losers for you?
Skip on the Philly cheese, Pringles. If you just like a spicy potato chip, Hot Ones is good. But keep in mind they have various versions, so the heat level may be different. Street corn Cheetos, they're going in the bin.
They're so bad. It's so bad. Thank you for the advice on what to try. Cookie two-step in South Carolina. That's so good. That's good stuff. Megan Easton, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Sloth Life. We need day 1, part 2. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm not sure if we can do it tomorrow, but we'll do it before Tuesday. T-Sue's welcome, and of course, Lar Fry, welcome as well. Thank you very much. We are going to call it a night tonight. Thomas and I have many bags of chips to finish. So there goes the marathon. We'll be back tomorrow morning, following this brand new case we picked up out of South Carolina that has got us checking all the boxes on our bingo cards for all the wrong reasons. But I'm hooked.
We're all here for it.
Yeah,
and
good.
For the record, the marathon was over before it started. Love y'all. Thank you for being here.
Have a good one. We'll see you.
Good night.